What's up guys? Today we're going to be painting the infamous Air Force 1's. I've wanted to customize shoes for quite a few years now as I've seen them sort of being done more and more. So I'm pretty amped to be giving this a go. I've got some leather paint on the way. There's a little bit of an investment obviously when starting in terms of having to buy paint and then shoes themselves. I managed to get a pair of these off Marketplace for about $100 Australian, so pretty cheap. The buyer bought the wrong size, they're in perfect condition. Obviously you can paint in your shoe, but I think Air Force 1's have great paneling and there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with them. And like I said, they're kind of like the hallmark of customizing shoes, especially like hand painted shoes. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. But I'll take you through my process. I'm going to be figuring this out myself along the way. It does seem pretty straightforward. Basically you have to strip the shoe, we'll come up with a design, we'll paint the shoe, and then we'll seal the shoe, and yeah, hopefully it's a fun project. So sit back, grab a beer, and let's start customizing some shoes. Alright, so our first step is just going to delace both of these. I've just gone and picked up 100% acetone and some cotton swabs, which is what we're going to remove that initial factory seal to allow our paint to adhere to the leather a lot better. So we'll just go ahead quickly and we'll remove the laces. And now we've got that done, we're just going to go ahead and start removing that factory seal as I was just talking about. Oh! Well, that's a huge issue. And the most important step is going to be not to spill your highly toxic acetone all over your hands and working bench. But yeah, let's try that again. Alright, so I've got my design here on the iPad, which I'm going to be referencing. I've got the shoes now, which I've stripped off that factory seal, including spilling it all over the bench. And I'm still waiting for my paint to get here. Delivery times in Melbourne at the moment are shocking, but I've been assured they're going to be here tomorrow. So I'm going to start just by sketching in with a mechanical pencil my design, and then that way tomorrow I can get started on painting straight away. And my paints have finally rocked up after continually getting delayed, which I'm stoked about. Now they're finally here. So I'll give you a quick run through of what I got. I got the acrylic matte finisher to protect the shoes once you've completed painting. I got black and white in the 250ml because I figured I'll probably use a decent amount of those two, even just for creating different colors, bringing or making them lighter and darker. And then I just went for the primary colors as well as a couple more interesting colors just to get a bit of a wide variety to start with. I was sort of lucky in that I found a website that had these on sale, so it made it easy to get a good selection of paints to begin. But I've sketched up my first shoe, got the flames down, and now we can get started. Alright, so I might have just jumped the gun, started painting, and realised that I should really tape these soles off before I do so, because I'm thinking about maybe running this smaller section of the sole in yellow, but I'm undecided yet, so I'll play it safe and tape it off, and then we can get back into it. So I've gotten down the outline of the flames, and I'm just coming back through now with this yellow to flesh out the rest of the design. So far, the leather is actually pretty easy to paint on. Quite quite a nice painting surface, a little bit easier than I was expecting. Some of the colors are quite transparent. As you can see, this yellow is quite transparent, the first layer going down, and I'll probably need 2 or 3 layers to get that really rich color. But yeah, overall, really nice surface to paint on, and overall a pretty good experience. Obviously it's my first pair of shoes that I'm painting, so I'm kind of learning as I go. But yeah, quite a easy overall project, and I'm looking forward to doing more and kind of getting a little bit more crazier with my designs as I go. Okay, and we've got the first shoe done. So far so good. So far a really nice painting experience. Painting on the leather, I was quite surprised. Once we've stripped back that factory seal, the leather paint adheres really well to the surface, and overall it's quite a enjoyable painting experience. Something to note is originally I was going to paint the entire flame section red and then just layer over the top this yellow flame section. What I decided to do, however, is because yellow is already a really transparent paint and it can be quite difficult to layer yellow over the top of colors. So as you saw, what I did is I painted the red section just in outline, and then I painted the yellow section just directly over the top of the white shoe. And I think that gave me a lot better coverage and made my yellow a lot bolder, because when I had to come in and cut back on some of the red, it took quite a few layers to cover that red. So overall that was a really good decision. Right now I'm basically just deciding whether I want to do anything on the inside of the shoes, so whether that is a small flame section that runs the distance and then we have a larger flame section on the outside, or whether I have a small flame section just on this inner panel here, or whether we just keep it blank. I'm not too sure yet. I think what I'm going to do is we'll paint the next shoe and I'll see how they look as a pair. I might even try them on and just sort of see how they feel. But I really like at the moment how minimal the shoe is and how bold these flames are. It adds some really nice contrast, and I think the design is really solid. So from here, what we might do is we'll do a quick tape peel, see how this shoe looks on its own. We'll set up the next shoe and we'll get painting on that, and yeah, we'll see how the progress goes from there. But so far so good. So this is where I'm at with both shoes now. So far, really happy with how it's coming along. I've just been sort of tossing up whether I wanted to do something on the inside of both the shoes or not. I've just gone and tried them on and sort of decided that when looking at the shoe front on or from top down, I want the flames to have a little bit more impact. So that is what we are going to do here. We're just going to jump back across the iPad. I actually lost the footage of me doing the first design on the iPad, so that'll be a good little insight as to how I came out with my first design. Anyway, but I'm tossing up between two ideas. We're either going to use this panel and this panel, or we're just going to use straight up this panel in the middle here. But yeah, we'll have a bit of a mess around and see what we can come up with. And that is the painting side of things done on both shoes. On both of the insides, I've gone ahead and done this even further cropped in flame section. And then on the exterior of both shoes, I've got the larger flame section that runs the extra panel. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how these have turned out, and just the overall painting experience was really enjoyable, and had heaps of fun painting my first pair of custom shoes. So the last step now is just to hit it with this acrylic matte finisher, which basically just keeps it well protected, stops the paint from flaking off. I'm either going to use a cotton pad or a fresh brush. I'll have a quick look and see what I've got laying around. But we'll do that, we'll take some final photos, and then we're done. Alright, so I'm just using the same cotton pads that I used when I stripped the shoes. Just holding it against the bottle and tipping it upside down, which I guess you'll see me do in a second when I load up the next cotton pad. And the idea with this, whenever you're varnishing anything, you want to go for more thin and consistent layers. You're better off having to reapply if you need to, as opposed to trying to get too much on there the first time. So just using the light as I go to see in the reflection what I have and haven't hit. I did strip the entire shoe, so aside from the soles, so I'm just going to make sure that I cover every inch, just working on one side, sort of left to right, and then I'll spin the shoe around and do the same on the other side. But I'll just give these a quick varnish, we'll let those dry, and we'll lace them up. Alright guys, and that is going to bring us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something from this project. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm looking forward to painting more shoes. I've already got my next pair lined up. So stay tuned for that video, but for now that's it, and I'll catch you in the next one.